Very correct. In fact, Michael, it's been a wonderful day at Dalal Street. The Sensex moving up by more than 350 points and the Nifty crossing that psychological barrier of 5,500. But a word of caution here, you can't endlessly move northwards. If you see in this particular year, the markets have moved up by more than 17-18% in a short span of 1.5 months. So that's clearly not sustainable. So you can expect some kind of correction, consolidation and profit booking in the near future. But the best thing is that, we have moved above the 200-day moving average. And as you said, sector-specific action, all the interest rate sensitive sectors did wonderfully well today, automobiles, banking. And another sector which did exceedingly well was the power utilities sector.
Registered a rise of around 0.5%. Tell us if there is any specific stock-specific actions.
Yes, indeed. In fact, it was a fairly good day at Dalal Street. Although, 76 points up on a Sensex of almost 18,000 on that base is not a big deal, but the undercurrent was really positive and the sentiment was positive. As you mentioned in your report, one is the inflation numbers which came in, which was really good at, close to 6.5% and has come down from 7.47%. We'll talk about inflation in detail later on. So that was one factor, and also the numbers posted by Tata Motors, fairly good, handsome numbers of 40% rise in net profit. So these two factors gave a positive tinge to the market.
All right, let's head over now to New Delhi for more analysis on the significance of Prime Minister Noda's visit to India, where we're joined by Ranga. Good evening, Ranga.
Good evening, Mike. In fact, the Japanese Prime Minister was given a warm welcome at the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan. That's the President's house in New Delhi. And the best part is that, India and Japan enjoy warm diplomatic relations. So going ahead with economic agenda is no problem at all. And as you just mentioned, one major agenda is the $100 billion New Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor. In fact, this corridor is set to have some 24 new cities. A very good evening and welcome to our special phone-in edition of Business Wrap on the eve of Holi. I am Rangabashiam, and joining me from our Mumbai studio is the Chief Executive Officer of chartpundit.com, Hemant Kapadia, to answer all your questions, queries and doubts related to the stock markets. A very good evening, Hemant, and welcome to the program. Nice to have you on the show time and again, and very happy Holi to you before we begin the program. As this first viewer of ours wants to know about Sujna Universal, he says whether to hold or to buy more, and he also wants some specific recommendations as far as mid-cap and some small-cap companies are concerned.
Yes, Ranga, very good evening. A very good evening to you. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show, and an equally happy Holi to you.
A very good evening and welcome to this news bulletin on DD News. I'm Rangabashiam. Let's start off with the big story at the Sa. Scientists started an experiment today that aims to reenact on a small scale the Big Bang that is believed to have created the universe. The first stage of the experiment passed off successfully today after a beam of protons was sent around a 27-kilometer underground ring. If conducted successfully, the experiment could possibly unlock the remaining secrets of particle physics, including a better understanding of dark matter and the creation of gravity.
Scientists are reenacting the Big Bang on a small scale at CERN.
Good morning, India. It's just started this Friday morning and we are back once again with fresh edition of Breakfast News, the only news show that has everything in it, from politics to sports and entertainment to lifestyle. I'm Sakal Bhatt.
And I'm S. Rangabashiam. Over the next 1 hour, we will take you through the major news stories of the day and also check out this morning's newspapers. And we'll discuss cyber law in the context of the recent BPO fiasco and the consequent call by the Prime Minister to take action on the issue. But first up, the day's top stories. And for the latest, let's go across to Ahmedabad for an update on the flood situation from Dheeraj Kakadia, our correspondent there. Good morning, Dheeraj, and tell us about the latest situation prevailing in the state and especially Vadodara. Former Nepal Prime Minister Surya Bahadur Thapa called on Home Minister Shivraj Patil in New Delhi on Thursday to discuss the current political situation, including Maoist insurgency in the Himalayan kingdom. Hello, I'm Rangabashiam with Shubh Labh India, your guide to investing in India. As India, the world's largest democracy, goes through a transformation phase, the television industry is growing at a rapid pace. Today, the country with its over 1 billion population provides a huge opportunity to investors to grab a larger share of the growing market.
With great change.
As far as the investment opportunities go, I'm sure, our viewers would like to know the kind of investment opportunities which is available in the media sector today in India.
Per se, the BRIC countries, overall the industry growth is far higher than the rest of the world, which is projected growth. I think close to about double the rest of the world's projected growth.
Yeah. But most of the media companies, if we see in India, we spoke about some 400 companies. Most of them, they are really small players. Do you see some kind of consolidation happening in this particular sector in the near future?
One of the biggest proliferations which we have seen in recent time is in the news domain.
Hello and welcome to Newsweek South Asia. In this week's episode, Jamaat-ud-Dawa ups the ante against United States and India. Experts see it as a diversionary tactic of ISI. And negotiations with Taliban continues in Qatar. And with that, we come to the end of this edition of Newsweek South Asia. We'll be back next week with more news, views and analysis from the subcontinent. Meanwhile, do keep writing into us at nwsa@ani.in.com. This is Rangabashiam signing off on behalf of the entire production team of Newsweek South Asia. Goodbye. नमस्कार, हेल्दी इंडिया के इस अंक में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और आज हम बात कर रहे हैं जॉइंट पेन, जॉइंट प्रॉब्लम्स और रूमेटिक प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में। और इस मुद्दे पर बातचीत करने के लिए हमेशा की तरह हमारे साथ दो एक्सपर्ट्स मौजूद हैं स्टूडियो में। हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर उमा कुमार, जो कि डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मेडिसिन से हैं, ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंसेज, एंड वी ऑल्सो हैव डॉक्टर पी कोटवाल ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ ऑर्थोपेडिक्स। डॉक्टर साहब, आप दोनों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है कार्यक्रम में।
धन्यवाद।
और जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं, ये एक इंटरैक्टिव प्रोग्राम है, इसमें आप भी शामिल हो सकते हैं। यदि आपके कोई क्वेरीज हैं, कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं, कोई डाउट्स हैं और आप हमारे एक्सपर्ट से पूछना चाहते हैं, तो जस्ट फ़ोन उठाइए और अपना क्वेश्चन जो है आप सीधे डॉक्टर से बातचीत करके समाधान पा सकते हैं। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं और लेते हैं हमारे अगले कॉलर को। हमारे साथ अख्तर अली फ़ोन पर हैं पटना से। जी साहब, स्वागत है आपका।
सर, मैं अख्तर अली, पटना, बिहार, बेटी।
तो उसके हिसाब से फिर अगर ब्रेक लेकर के और करेंगे और ये एडवाइस फॉलो करेंगे, तब शायद ये इतनी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी और वो ठीक से काम कर पाएंगे।
डॉक्टर उमा कुमार, एक आम धारणा रहती है कि घर मोहल्ले में अगर किसी को आप कहते हैं कि दर्द है, तो कहते हैं कि आप मसाज करवा लीजिए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा, या तेल लगा के या उस तरह से किसी भी तरह से मसाज करवा लें तो ठीक हो जाए। तो उससे कितनी राहत मिल सकती है या उल्टा नुकसान भी हो सकता है?
देखिए, अगर छोटा मोटा दर्द है कि आप सुबह सो के उठे, आपको पैर में दर्द हो रहा है, आपने एक्सर्ट कर लिया।
वेलकम बैक। आज सवेरे के इस अंक में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और आज हमारे ख़ास मेहमान हैं प्रोफेसर बी भट्टाचार्य, जो कि वाइस चांसलर हैं जवाहरलाल नेहरू यूनिवर्सिटी के और हमारे देश के एक जाने माने अर्थशास्त्री। प्रोफेसर साहब, भारी भरकम आर्थिक मुद्दों के बाद कुछ हल्की फुल्की बात कर लें, कुछ आपके बारे में बात कर लें, आपके बचपन के बारे में बात कर लें, आपके निजी जीवन के बारे में बताइए कि आपकी स्कूलिंग कहाँ हुई, कॉलेज कहाँ रहा।
आई कम फ्रॉम ए मिडिल क्लास बंगाली फैमिली। मेरा फादर इंजीनियर है, मेरा भाई इंजीनियर है IIT, मेरे कजिन सब इंजीनियर है। मेरा फादर के कंसेप्ट है मिडिल क्लास बंगाली उस जमाने में सबका था, अच्छे होगे पढ़ाई में, डॉक्टर या इंजीनियर बनोगे।
बिल्कुल।